Yo, what's going on? This is Rocky Rob. Big Sick will be joining me. Welcome to Mind Walks podcast, where today we will discuss the elusive Bigfoot. But first, play this video. What up? I hope y'all enjoying Christmas weekend. Hope y'all getting drunk. Don't drink too much eggnog now. And shout out to Got Bud Records. Shout out to Slash Mr. Sid and everyone on my team. Um, we're gonna start it off with a song while I'm waiting for the homie to jump on, and we'll get the shit started.
Ha 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 ha. Ha ha, it is kind of a funny story. Ha ha, ha ha. He lives in a 4x2 glass box that reminds me of my head. I wish my floor would have rocks, but it's covered with puddles instead. If I could be him, life would be great. I could erase his permanent frown. I wouldn't even be held down by my own weight. I woke up, walked to the tank to hear his thoughts on yesterday. How was it, I asked, and after a tap on the glass, he looked my way, then gave me this depressed expression and pressed his best just to say, besides the tides and the gray skies, it was okay. And I said, hey, Mr. Fish, you get all that you wish. You got nothing to complain about while hanging out in this bit. And he replied, well, existence is bliss. There's so much that you miss. Besides, get off the trip. Happiness is just a myth. I said, living in water is extremely more peaceful than life. Confined with mind blinded by the evil. I'm forced to see through these two peepholes. It seems to redeem freedom not being limited by walls. But that only means I qualify as ground for the sky when it falls. That only means I qualify as ground for the sky when it falls. That only means I qualify as ground for the sky when it falls. That only means I qualify as ground for the sky when it falls. But Mr. Fish just laughed as I went on and on and on. So I interrupted his chuckle, putting up a middle finger. And he boldly told me it's too bad I'm such a thinker. So arrogantly I asked, how could someone think too much? He added that insanity lingers and thoughts brought me to the brink of such. He said you live inside a head that reminds me of my glass box. And everyone's the same, all brains are contained by a reality frame. And change with the rain, it's trained not to change. And once you see what I've explained, you hit the jackpot. And at that very moment, it was like my eyes really opened. The air that previously surrounded me was now an ocean. Still totally invisible except for minor pieces of debris. Then Mr. Fish pushed up to the glass and he looked just like me. My whole world spun around, I didn't understand, but I realized I was no longer a man. So I thought about what he said and asked him what was going on. And he said, you didn't know it, but you were the fish all along. He said, congratulations, you did it, you broke free. You're just a fish, like the rest of humanity. Now it took me a long time to get adjusted to this tank, but now I know what I am. And so to that man I give thanks. I've always lived inside this glass box that reminds him of his head. It just goes to show you that your mind is your own monster. Reality's what you make it, and if you take it away, you're just a fish like me, swimming in the powdered water.
That was idea and abilities, and there's an awesome track. It has a lot of meaning behind it if you understand what he's saying. Those with the open mind and jump down the rabbit hole understands what he's talking about. I hope everyone's having a good time. And like I said, it's Friday. It's Christmas weekend. It's time to turn up. It's time to get high. You know what? Some people don't celebrate Christmas. Some people celebrate the Yule. Hold up.
Right.
What up?
What
Look
up?
look who's joined us. Oh man. Big sick in the fucking building. Hell yeah.
All right.
So how was your day?
You know, fucking slept mostly. You know, worked,
Nice.
slept, and now we're ready to fucking talk a little bit about Bigfoot.
Yeah, yeah, I heard you were telling me that you've been researching a lot, and I'm interested to know what you've been
I have been
studying
researching more than I thought. More than I
and
thought I would. I researched this topic quite a bit, so I have a lot to
oh,
say.
all right. I played a song. It was called "Birth of a Fish" by Ideas and Abilities, and it's really good meaning behind that song.
What's the meaning behind that?
Well, I think the meaning behind that song is uh that we're all fish in a bowl.
Right.
If you get what I mean, yeah.
Right.
But the fish is
Uh,
also the man that keeping us here.
all right. We ready to start this shit?
Yeah.
All right. So let's start with this then. Fucking let's do a little introduction here. I'm Big Sick, got Bud Records,
I'm
and
Rocky Rob.
this is our third podcast. This is gonna be about Bigfoot, Sasquatch. He goes by many names, many names. Um, I think Rocky, you know a few of his other names, right?
Yeah, like some say the Yeti, some say urine, some say Sabe. Yeah, like Big Sis said, there's been many names.
Many names. And um, as far as history, well, you know, us as far as history, we came from. Hold on one second. We came from a small ape that was called the Australopithecus afarensis, which I knew this previous to doing research, because I looked into um, natural selection and evolution and stuff like that. So it was a little 3 foot ape that we started out as, and we started growing and growing and growing, and you know, different. It's split off in different ways. So when people have the argument of, oh well, why are monkeys still having monkeys and not humans or whatever? Because they're technically a different species of ape. It's not the same type of species as us. So, um, Bigfoot, it definitely did exist at one point. Um, I can't remember the exact name, and I'm gonna definitely pronounce this wrong, but I did show Rocky the Wikipedia. It was like Gigantopithecus or something like that, and it was an ape
Yeah,
in China that was 300,000 years ago. That was a big. It was a huge ape, and it was technically what you would call a Bigfoot. Um, so as far as history of Bigfoot, we have documented stuff like that. Do we have actual documented stuff of actual Bigfoot? No. We have hearsay, we have stories, we have sightings and stuff like that. But we do have documented case of that species. Um, do you know anything about Bigfoot that I haven't mentioned, Rocky?
Well, that's that. What I like about Sasquatch, it ties into other stuff that we talked about in our previous episodes. That kind of intermingles with those two. Could Bigfoot be something that could be conjured up using the Ouija board? Could it be an alien species from a distant planet? Who knows, right?
That's the interesting thing is all these topics tie together, and um, Bigfoot has been seen more frequently um, in UFO areas where there's alien activity, UFO activity, paranormal activity, occult activity, anything like that. So Rocky's right. Bigfoot. There's a possibility that Bigfoot could be more than just an ape, more than just what we are. Why do you think you don't see Bigfoot? Why do you think? How do you think Bigfoot is so fast? I mean, if you think about us and the fastest runner, he's fast, right? But you can still see him. Bigfoot, he's there and he's gone. That could be an interdimensional being. It could be a supernatural being. And that's just what they want to present themselves as. And I have a story I'll tell a little bit later about a guy on a UFO. Um, but for right now, that's basically what I know about Bigfoot. Bigfoot is an ape. Well, as far as we know, if you want to do like a biological sense, Bigfoot is an ape. He's very, very fast. He can jump and run extremely fast. From what we've seen, what I've read about, seen, and watching documentaries, he's extremely fast. No human could be as fast as him. I don't know how he's so fast. Being so big because he's between. Well, they say a small Bigfoot is 6 foot, but he could be up to 10 feet tall. So, what do you think, Brian?
Photos.
Let's see some photos.
Yeah, but first, let me tell you what I think first. So, I think, in my opinion, Bigfoots are the original beings of this planet. Us were the genetic copies of them. You know,
Right.
a mixture between them and another species of apes. And different. But that's see that could go into another topic. It's like,
Right.
but it all like it all connects. But listen, I'll show you some of these pictures. Some of these pictures I got from this guy named Todd Standing. I couldn't really get him. I'll get a hold of him, but some of these are just found. So like he took this one right here. Hold up. There it is. You see that?
Yeah, I see that. That's a face right there. Um, Looks humanoid like us. But hairy, obviously.
Yeah, that's one of them. I could show another one.
Let's see another one. Oh wow, yeah, that.
And he goes out there, and I think he's from Washington. And I do hear of a lot of stories that come from Washington.
Right.
And I got a few clips too.
All right, let's see a clip.
All right.
Oh, come on inside!
Thinking of,
Carly!
That's some crazy shit.
See,
Um,
like you could see the muscular, like the muscles and the head, the way the head shape, the neck, the way I heard that how Bigfoots would look like. That's a big ass motherfucker. It's like that can't be a human in a suit. It's like no way.
no way, no way. That's big. And I mean, we got the pictures, especially from the older days. They didn't have the technology back then to look that good. You could see. I mean, shit. You watch old Doctor Who, so they got the creatures and Star Trek and shit. You would be able to tell how fake a Bigfoot would look. You know, a Bigfoot, and they didn't have the technology to have a Bigfoot walking around the fucking forest to look like that. I mean, maybe in a studio or something. But yeah, that those are interesting.
Right, man. When I was trying to look for the best ones I could find, and the ones that have clear. It's like okay, people want proof, and the proof is right there in front of you, and they still don't want to believe it.
Exactly. I mean, in any of these subjects, no matter how much proof you give, people still won't believe it. You know.
This is a
So
saying. This is a saying. I said people believe, and oh, what's real to the people is fake, and what's fake to the people is real.
all right, you got a song for us, Rocky?
I do. Yeah. This is by Atmosphere.
Legend.
They love the taste of blood. And I don't know what that means, but I know that I mean it. Maybe they're as evil as they seem, or maybe I only look out the window when it's scenic. Atmosphere finally made a good record. Yeah, right, that shit almost sounds convincing. The last time I felt as sick and contradictive as this was the last time we played a show in Cincy. Get real, they tell me. If only they knew how real this life really gets. They would stop acting like a silly bitch. They would respect the cock, whether or not they believed in it. Doesn't take much, and that's messed up. Because these people do a lot of simple shit to impress us. While everyone was trying to outdo the last man, I was just a ghost trying to catch some is Pac-Man. Hello, ma'am, would you be interested in some sexual positions and emotional investments? See, I'm not insane. In fact, I'm kind of rational. When I be asking, yo, where did all the passion go? East Coast, West Coast, down south, Midwest. Nowadays, everybody knows how to get fresh. Somebody give me a big yes. God bless America, but she stole the beef from Bless. Now I'm too fucked up to dance, so I'ma sit with my hand on the front of my pants. You can't achieve your goals if you don't take that chance. So go pry open that trunk and get those amps. You know, days of kings and queens, I was a jester. Treat me like a god, or they treat me like a leper. You see me move back and forth between both. I'm trying to find a balance, I'm trying to build a balance. In the days of kings and queens, I was a jester. Treat me like a god, or they treat me like a leper. You see me move back and forth between both. I'm trying to find a balance. I'm trying to find a balance, I'm trying to build a balance. I'm trying to find a balance, I'm trying to build a balance. So now I keep a close eye on my pets, because they make most of their moves off of instinct and sense. It's eat, sleep, fuck, and self-defense. So straight, you can set your clocks and place bets. Wait, let's pray on a blind, deaf, dumb, dead. Hustle, maybe a couple will love what you said. MCs drag their feet across a big naked land with an empty bag of seed and a fake shake of hands. Yeah, I got some last words. Fuck all of y'all. Stop writing raps and go play volleyball. Gotta journey the world in a hurry, cause my attorney didn't put enough girls on the jury. Guilty of dropping these bombs in the city, but I'm innocent. Love is the motive, that's why I'm killing them. Guilty of setting my fire in all 50, but I'm innocent. Blame it on my equilibrium. In the days of kings and queens, I was a jester. Treat me like a god, or they treat me like a leper. You see me move back and forth between both. I'm trying to find a balance, I'm trying to build a balance. In the days of kings and queens, I was a jester. Treat me like a god, or they treat me like a leper. You see me move back and forth between both. I'm trying to find a balance. I'm trying to find a balance, I'm trying to build a balance. I'm trying to find a balance, I'm trying to build a balance. I'm trying to find a balance, I'm trying to build a balance. I gotta find my balance, I gotta find my balance. Now all my friends are famous. See the one thing or another. Y'all don't know what my name is. Probably know both of my brothers. One is a hard-working savior. The other's a hard-working soldier. I'm just your next-door neighbor, working hard and trying to stay sober. Wait for the car at the corner. Pretend like you know what the plot is. Won't quit till I hit California. Make you my Golden State goddess.
All right. That was Atmosphere. What song was that again?
Yeah, my bad. My shit. I got lost in. I lost connect. I lost
It's all
connection for a
good.
minute.
Let's tell them what song that was.
Yeah,
Atmosphere. What?
yeah. That was atmosphere.
What song was that?
That was atmosphere, but I forgot the name of the song. I can't see the whole thing right now.
All right. Well, it was dope. Um, so let's go into this. And I want you to start this topic off. And it's stories you've heard about Bigfoot, like things you've heard through podcasts, through um documentaries. Like what have you heard about Bigfoot?
I heard it's this really intelligent being that they're not really harmful towards humans, but uh they are protective of their area. But we don't know the area until we get close. You'll start getting rocks thrown at you. Like they're not hurt, not at you, but they're letting you know, hey, we're here. The closer you get, the more you experience. Uh, but other than that, I heard they're really intelligent and they watch humans. They're learning from us.
Did you watch any documentaries on them or
Uh,
read
yeah,
you read about them?
yeah. I read, research, talked to people who've seen Bigfoot themselves, and
Yeah.
it's been pretty
You,
cool. Like,
you, you mentioned Todd Standing. You watched that or read about that, right?
yeah, yep. And then I reached out to
It's un-
um,
it's
that's pretty
unfortunate
cool.
that we couldn't get Todd Standing for this. Um, Maybe in the future we can get a Bigfoot expert, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I
Todd
talked to a
Standing.
couple people.
Todd Standing. Maybe someday you'll see this podcast, see the fresh Bigfoot jersey, Bigfoot fucking charm. Two motherfuckers from Got Bud talking Bigfoot. You will
Oh
come
yeah,
on our future Bigfoot show because we have so many topics to go through, but we will be revisiting some topics at times. Aliens, for one. I think there's just too much to talk about. Bigfoot, if we get an expert, let's come back with that. So anyway, I've been doing a ton of research. I want to mention this first.
all right.
Aber Road. Here's a book. You can't see it too well because it's dark as hell out here. Aber Road: The True Story by Brian Gosselin and his wife Sue Gosselin edited it. And I'm just going to read the description on the back of some of it. It says on August 1976, police officer Brian Goslin had a face to face encounter with a Bigfoot type creature on Albert Road in Whitehall, New York. This event set off a firestorm of publicity and has become a landmark case that has withstood the test of time. Brian encountered the creature just 30 feet in front of him in his spotlight with his pistol pointed directly at it, but he did not shoot. In Abbey Road, the true story, Brian is sharing the events that took place that night, along with a great deal of information that has never been shared with the public. So this is a story about actually a cop that was in Whitehall. It was a Whitehall, New York, that came across a Bigfoot in 1976, and he pointed his gun at it and flashed a flashlight at it because he didn't know what the fuck it was, obviously. And the Bigfoot put his hands up to his face to cover his eyes and let out a real loud growl. Now, that could have been because he was scared. That could have been for aggression. Who knows? Like, get away from me. But this is a story about that. He did not shoot the Bigfoot. Um, and also, piggybacking off of this, there's a Bigfoot, I believe the biggest or one of the biggest Bigfoot events and like gatherings, and they have a bunch of like vendors and like it's like a convent, like an outdoor type of event, like a gathering almost. And it's Bigfoot though, and it's in Whitehall, New York. And I don't know if he runs it. I don't think he runs it, but he's part of it. And because that's originally I saw a video of it, and that's when I found out about the book. So then I bought the book. But you can go to Whitehall, New York, and they even have like fun events that like poke fun at Bigfoot. Like you could do a Bigfoot like growl, like a fucking contest, and all sorts of
Mm.
like fun shit. Bigfoot action figures and stuff. But there's also a lot of information there, and I wouldn't be surprised if Todd Standing was there. You know, so there could be this it's a fun time. I'd like to go. If I was close, I'd go. But Whitehall, New York. It's in August, so it's a little bit difficult because I go to other events. But it sounds really fun. What do you think about going to a Bigfoot Fest, Rocky?
I think that would be pretty awesome to go to an event like that. And I know there's a place like that out in California. There's a town that's dedicated to Bigfoot, and I'm pretty sure there's other towns like that too. Now
Yeah, there's other ones.
I've heard of Bigfoot sightings here in Michigan, up north, and the crazy thing is they're over there too, where I was at in Minnesota. I remember walking through the woods. I used to walk trails a lot by myself.
Right.
I never put two and two together when you see structures and you know until I started learning and watching other videos that how Sasquatch make like some kind of let you know you're in their territory type stuff, like branches stick cross together or whatever. And I remember seeing that before, and then I getting the feeling that I was being watched,
Right.
and my whole body was tingling like it was like a sixth sense. I was sensing somebody, but I couldn't see where we're at.
And how did you
So
feel?
I felt like it was just watching and just observing like what I was doing, just walking through there.
Were you like
Maybe I
scared of it?
no, no.
Oh.
I was talking. I was like out loud. I was the only one out there. I was like, I know you're there. I was like, I know you're watching me. So and I was like, oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just minding my own business. It's like I'm just walking. And
Interesting enough. Bigfoot probably would be common in Michigan or anywhere near Michigan and Detroit, anywhere, because what I just saw today is there's a ton of Bigfoot sightings in Canada and in the Yukon and all that. So just right above you know Michigan. So there's a lot of woods out in Canada, and the upper Michigan is woods. When I drove up there one time, and it was far. It was from, I don't know how far up Michigan. It was like 8 hours or something. I don't know for me. And up there is nothing but woods. The Upper Peninsula. It's like a part of Canada almost. It's weird. I've never been up there. I never even knew about it. And it's just forests and woods, just as far as you can see. I had
oh
no
yeah,
reception out there.
there's a place I want to go to that it's like a Dark Sky Park, I believe is what it's called. Could be saying it wrong, but it's
Yeah,
by Mackinac Island, and it's just there's no light. Supposedly you can see the aurora borealis, and you can see the edge of the Milky Way or whatever. You can see a whole ocean of stars, and
shit.
I was like, man, I
Not a,
want to go there. I want to
see,
go there, and maybe you might see Bigfoot.
that's a topic for another day. The borealis and all that. So
Yeah.
that's a good one too. That could tie into Bigfoot. That could tie into a cult. That could tie into aliens. That could tie into all this. So I'm saying it's a circle. It's the Ouroboros eating its tail. Everything.
Oh yeah.
So you got that? Can you throw up a picture for me of 50 years of Bigfoot? If you have that one.
Hold on. Let me add it real quick. Oh, I think well, I could upload it real quick.
All right. So while he does that, I'll start speaking on it. 50 Years of Bigfoot was a book written. Believe her name. I don't know how I'm like forgetting her name kind of right now. I think it was Janice. It wasn't written by her, but it was her story. Oh, so yeah, it was written by Mary Green, I believe, or something like that. Um, the book is not available because Mary Green, I guess, self-produced it, and you could get the book then, but she's since passed away. So you cannot get this book anymore unless you can find a private seller or get really fucking lucky. 50 Years of Bigfoot, Living with Bigfoot, tells the story of Janice and her sister and their grandfather. And their grandfather befriended a Bigfoot. And it was a Bigfoot, and it was like it was a male Bigfoot, a female Bigfoot. Eventually, there were children, but it took a long time for this man to befriend the Bigfoot because, you know, I don't blame Bigfoot. If I was Bigfoot, I wouldn't. Shoot, as a human, I don't trust people. As a Bigfoot, I definitely wouldn't trust people. You know, thinking about it, I might be a brutal Bigfoot. You know what I'm saying? Just get the hell away from me. But it's about the story. The grandfather befriends a Bigfoot family, mostly the male, which he called Fox, because the story behind that is at first he kept it a secret from his family. He would feed table scraps to him, and then when they were going out and asking where he was going to bring these, who was he bringing these table scraps to every night, he would say, "Oh, a fox." But that's just what he made up because So he started calling the Bigfoot. His name became Fox. Um, so Fox would take a long time to warm up, even with food, but eventually he did. And Bigfoot actually has his own language too. So the Bigfoot language was taught to the man, the grandfather, and the grandfather taught the Bigfoot some English words in return, and they learned to get along. Now these Bigfoot, they were like more crazy Bigfoot. Like these Bigfoot were like they were kind of aggressive. Sometimes they could be aggressive, and like they would like. Well, I mean, to survive, they would kill all the grandfather's fucking animals on the farm. And they would do it in brutal ways. Like they wouldn't just eat. They would fucking rip their intestines out and fucking just brutalize them, break their back legs like cows, and fucking just eat them all up and shit. And they used to eat dogs even and everything. That's what I'm saying, not just cows. Anything on the farm, it was a farm. Anything on the farm, fucking they would eat. And if it's that would be if the Bigfoot wasn't fed, because the Bigfoot became reliant on this family. Expected them because it was every night for 20 years that this guy would bring the Bigfoot table scraps. So eventually Bigfoot got mad because, especially when this dude's health started to decline, he would no longer bring the food, and fucking they didn't know nothing, you know. The granddaughters knew about the Bigfoot and were around the Bigfoot, but weren't as close to the Bigfoot. Like the grandfather could actually calm them down with a soothing voice. These Bigfoot were more animalistic, you know what I'm saying? Fucking, but they're intelligent. Like I said, they had their own language, and it was like befriending a fucking gorilla but bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still dangerous, and
they put this language in the book too.
this language is in the book. You can also find this language online at their website. The grandfather wrote down on a pad of paper the noises and then what they meant, because Bigfoot would make the noise and then like point to what he was talking about or whatever, and then over time he learned what it was. So this guy ended up dying, and what now we're getting into the actual book. So the basis of the book is the granddaughter's experience, Janice and her sister, with the grandfather, and they go back to try to get the Bigfoot. However, the daughters are terrified because they don't think they can control the Bigfoot like the grandfather did. And that's a story. You cannot get. The only way you could experience that story is if you're a really lucky motherfucker and have that book, or you go on YouTube. The author did an audiobook before she died, and she read the entire book out. There's 14 not chapters, but there's 14 parts, and it's really good. That's how I experienced it. And I'm not huge on audiobooks. I prefer reading, but I enjoyed it. At times it made me feel tense. Like seriously, like nothing really makes me feel that way either. But at times I was like, holy shit, because the way they were describing these Bigfoot, I was like, dude, it's kind of scary. It's like almost like they were afraid, man. Of these daughters were afraid that these Bigfoot. I mean, the Bigfoot were capable of ripping them apart if he wanted. You know, not saying he would, but he's capable of it. And the daughters are fucking terrified, you know. And
Do you think there's different tribes of Bigfoot, Sasquatch? Some of them are more spiritually in tune and have a more mellow vibe to them.
definitely,
Oh,
I'd say it's just like humans. They can have their own culture too, and you know, just like humans' emotions, we're all different. Like, you know, one of us wants to beat somebody in the ass, you know, in the face, not in the ass, beat someone in the face, and the other one wants to chill. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different. It's me and Rocky's different personalities. Fucking, you know, Fucking Bigfoot could have their own. They could be more spiritual, like us humans. You know, there's good and bad and everything. You know, yin yang. So yeah, I do, Rocky.
I think so too. I think okay, there's a similar incident, but this involves a native girl, and it's only
Really.
one chick, and her grandma, no, his dad owned some land, and he was cutting down trees, and they had, but every time, and they had this machine too, I think, where they put the trees through, and it becomes like bark or whatever, it becomes like mulch.
Mm.
And they, every morning, they had to fix it because it was kept getting fucked with, and the chainsaws would end up being ripped out, all broken and shit. And then, but he kept, buying it, and fixing it, and cutting down more trees. And then one day, she said that she looked out the window and she seen these beings that were like, you know, she says, well, she calls them sabe, so
Mm.
I think that's what natives call them. But she said that they started doing something called mind talk, where they speak to you telepathy, and certain Bigfoots can do telepathy, and that's how they could talk to you. They just started talking in its own language, and then they translated the English, saying, "I felt your pain," because the daughter was sad that her dad was cutting down trees and shit, and Bigfoots could feel the pain, and she ended up talking to the Bigfoots for many years. I think she still does, and I forgot where she lives at though. I remember hearing the story on this other Bigfoot. This guy, he reads emails and shit. And people, if you got any stories for us to read, we'll read them. We'd like to know your experiences.
If you have any experiences with Bigfoot, or if you have any thoughts, not even so, just thoughts on Bigfoot. Is he real? Is he fake? Is he an interdimensional being? Is he an alien? Write to info@gotbudrecords.com. Records ends with a Z. And tell us what you think about this huge, ape. Is he real? Is he not? Some would argue both ways. So you got a song for us, Rocky?
Yep. This is, if anyone who knows who K Reno is.
At my command,
I was mistaken. I've been
you will focus on me and
I
only
must
me.
be the weather because I never.
You will respond to my call no matter where you are on the planet. Every aspect of your life will be conducted through my channels. Information, entertainment, love, food, all of your necessities will go through me. We are now one. Every invention has an intention, some for passive ascension, others' purpose is too savage to mention. The misuse of technology worsens, world's curses emerging, causing a massive surge in its perversion. Mind control motive started the issue, purposely plotted against you, cause true intelligence is not artificial. Features of devices expand, they purposely plan to make us feel as if we have the universe in our hands. If you stare in the portal, more distractions grab you and hold you. You scroll through with the focus view, now it controls you. Overloaded by all of the open roads that it shows you. The whole scope of this roguish world is at your disposal. Your mind is the target of forces designed to dissolve it. More time in the darkness makes the laws blind and lethargic. Profusely distracted, your actions reduced into fragments. The computer's a magnet that has you useless and stagnant. Under digital hypnosis, you drift slowly down the well as your consciousness fails under the spell and critical psychosis. Your attention span is held in a cell, just like someone in jail under digital hypnosis. You drift slowly down the well as your consciousness fails under the spell in critical psychosis. Your attention span is held in a cell, just like someone in jail. You gaze at it attentively, enslaved and defenseless. Organic forms of mental stimulation fade from your interest. The template, you introduced it to your infants at an early age. So by digital means, little boys and girls are raised, glued to superficial visuals too. It imprisons you, then inhibits your peripheral view. Then you travel slow into the rabbit hole. Different categories that alone, from the average shows to pornographic mode. The social network inertia grows. The content disturbs your soul, but even so, you can't control the urge to scroll. Your motivational circuits blow, and work is no longer an urgent goal as divergence seem irreversible. You assume the fate of subhuman state. Days on the calendar enumerate as the wasted hours accumulate undeniably. So the second you step away from it entirely, you mire in separation anxiety. Digital hypnosis. You drift slowly down the well as your consciousness fails under the spell in critical psychosis. Your attention span is held in a cell, just like someone in jail under digital hypnosis. You drift slowly down the well as your consciousness fails under the spell in critical psychosis. Your attention span is held in a cell, just like someone in jail. Weeks, months of overconsumption, screen drunk and despondent, becoming one with non-nutritive content. Smart cars and phones direct you, smart televisions connect to the game and systems built to possess you. Disconnected our best self and rebuild us. No real pictures, the women addicted to filters. Through endless corridors you slide through, your mind remotely abides to every direction that it guides you. Inside these applications you found, there's no sacred ground to lay down. Your child is now in a predator playground. Your feelings are what they've experimented with. AI that can read intimate thoughts in your mind and print the images. Your work ethic is practically absent, captivated by a platform that'll have you erratic if it collapses. Doing what it commands, it makes you fascinated with a breakthrough created to ultimately replace you. Out of a sound sleep, it wakes you. You race and can't wait to get to all of the shady places it takes you. Your device is alive, it has eyes and it hears. Soon as you mention the product, the advertisement appears. You thirst and gamble online nervously and hurriedly submerge your financial future in digital currency. We one of these dreams with autonomy, trusting what the numbers be as we invest in the fast falling economy. It's remodeling you into an inoperative fool while you're watching the TV. The TV is watching you too. Self-discipline overran, so we are not to withstand. Lost in the labyrinth of websites, locked in a trance. You voluntarily give it your life daily in private. You submit all of your personal information inside it. It's the World Wide Web, the lower desire finder with a buzz trapped in it. The spider is its designer. This is digital hypnosis. You drift slowly down the well as your consciousness fails under the spell in critical psychosis. Your attention span is held in a cell, just like someone in jail under digital hypnosis. You drift slowly down the well as your consciousness fails under the spell in critical psychosis. Your attention span is held in a cell, just like someone in jail. Digital hypnosis.
What'd you think about that, sir?
That's a dope track. I've never heard that. So I liked how deep that was. Who's that by?
That's K Reno.
That's who?
He's K Reno.
Oh, okay.
He's an OG from Texas.
That's pretty dope. I like that. So, all right. So now I've had it in my mind that I want to tell a story about the Bigfoot. I read about a story that is kind of deals with what you were saying earlier, how it's connected. You know, everything's connected. So this is an aliens story. So this guy was being aboard an alien spacecraft, and he was looking at the aliens. It's a very short story. He's in the alien. He's up there with the aliens, looking at the aliens, and there's a voice that comes into his head, and it's not the aliens. It's something that's behind him. He could just tell somehow. I don't know how he could tell, but it's a guy behind him or a thing behind him. It's fucking, and it says, "Don't turn around." And he starts hearing this fucking like gnashing sound, like fucking, you know, like eating sound, like a beast that's eating, you know. And he's like, "Don't turn around. Do not look this way." And the guy, of course, human nature, the guy turns around and he sees a Bigfoot, and it's in the spacecraft, and it's just devouring. I don't know if it was a pig or a cow or something like that. I don't know. It was just eating. You know, they could have got a cow for the Bigfoot. You know, that's what I'm saying. Is
Yeah,
Bigfoot is he an alien? Is he an interdimensional being? Because Bigfoot can just appear and disappear. You can't see Bigfoot, but people have seen him.
right. Sometimes they say when he runs, he looks like a blur. You
Yes,
know,
I've heard that. I heard that too. I heard that too. He does. Yeah, Nords resemble Bigfoot. Um, so yeah, it's interesting to think about how aliens and even the occult tie into all this.
right.
Because with Crawley, like I said on Aliens, he did a working, and I don't know. Like I said, I argued that people thought it was him, or people thought it was an actual alien being. But either way, he what they say is he allowed a hole in the dimension, and that's when that came in. But also, this is for another topic. Loch Ness monster came in. Now, Bigfoot could be part of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bigfoot can be an interdimensional being like the rest of them.
Right. And they just started coming over, moving over here to our
Yeah,
planet.
I mean, we don't know what anything of this world is. We don't even know what this world is. You know what I'm saying? The existence. We can never explain existence truthfully. So they say if you could think it exists, right? And even if it doesn't exist in this world, what's to say dreams aren't different worlds and Bigfoot does exist in those worlds? Because if you think it exists somewhere.
Yes, sure.
So Bigfoot exists. Technically, everything exists to somebody. You know what I'm saying? In some world.
Right.
So here's the final thought that I have about the story section. Bigfoot does indeed exist. Does Bigfoot exist here? I don't know. And how about you,
Right.
Rocky? Is that the only experience you've had with Bigfoot? Like you were talking earlier when you were walking through and you felt Bigfoot. Have you only had one experience or more?
That's the only one I have. I've heard stories from my ex. Her son, Chris, said that one day they were driving and he seen something huge uh, run across the street, and it was by the swamp. It was like a swampy area. But he ran across the street. He says it moved so fast it looked like it was blurry, like a blurry object, but you could see the outline. He said it was a Bigfoot. He believes it was a Bigfoot.
He believes it was Bigfoot.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
and I
just
believe it.
I'm just saying, like they could flash in and flash out. They're like
Yeah,
interdimensional beings. You
because
see it and you don't.
you heard that even over there in Ohio, that's a big hot spot for Bigfoot activity. A lot of stuff, you paranormal shit, but that's for something else. But I got another video here. Maybe we could just watch it, see what y'all think.
Let's see
Now
the video.
supposedly, I don't know if we could hear it. I don't know if it's. Let me know if it's too low.
Hey guys,
Uh,
well, I'm about a mile from the gifting rock right now. Starting to get dusk. It's about 35 degrees out. And I want you to listen to what I'm listening to out here. It's pretty crazy. I'm bow hunting for deer tonight. That's how we feed our family here. We don't buy beef. We harvest venison and we eat that. So, but anyway, I want you to hear this. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can hear a little better. Just a minute.
I can't really turn up videos.
Like I said.
Uh,
So we
I
can't
mean,
really hear the video. Can you explain it?
you could hear it if you have headphones, or you have to turn it up louder. I don't know why. He was whispering. That's why you couldn't hear him. But if you in the headphones, I could hear the whooping noise that Bigfoot was making.
Bigfoot does make
But
certain noises. Yep.
here's another one I'm going to show. This is supposed to be two juveniles, but you see for yourself. You judge for yourself. See what you think.
This footage is very, very interesting. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Well, these fuckers stink. Right? This is cool, man. And that video, supposedly you can see the tree shaking, which anyone could do that, but it depends how strong the tree is. But this motherfucker was just rocking the fucking shit back and forth, you know. And yeah, like I said, the other one, uh, as long as they see the replays.
Fucking, I don't know what happened there. All right. Anyway,
What'd you think about the video, though? Did you even see it? Do you want me to play it
I
over
s-
again?
no, I saw it. I saw like 3/4 of it.
Okay, in the beginning, it shows the tree shaking, right?
Yeah.
And you see the brown figure, and you can hear it talking in a grunty kind of voice,
Right.
but you can hear them speaking to each other, and they're brown, and you can tell they look kind of humanoid, but they're like juvenile Bigfoots. 'Cause I
Yeah.
do hear that like juvenile Bigfoots still crawl. They don't. They haven't. They can still crawl around, you know, like on their fours if they wanted to, you know, like apes, you know.
Yeah. I mean, even the adults will at times, from what I read. They stand up more, but they can still run. That's how they. I think they run faster that way.
Yeah, yeah. And
Humans weren't made to stand upright. We're apes, so we're meant to crouch and put our knuckles on the ground, and we can move faster on all fours. Now we learned over time to walk upright, but then now you have all sorts of problems like back problems and hip problems, all that. Like Because
Right.
naturally, you're not supposed to walk like that. You're supposed to, and we're all supposed to be like crouched almost, like when we do things. For example, when you go to the bathroom, you're not supposed to use the toilet. You're supposed to crouch. Like there's still countries that do that, like Greece. They have a fucking hole in the ground. You just crouch over it. Seriously, parts of Greece, parts of England, and there's parts that have
Greece.
the old school style. And as an ape, you crouch over it. You know, like that's what you are. And fucking yeah, we can move a lot faster on all fours. But now we can't move as fast. But I mean, we can do more, but we can't. Like I said, we have more health problems. Now Bigfoot. I mean, who's to say that the same doesn't have to happen to Bigfoot? I mean, what if they were made for all fours and they learned to walk upright?
Right.
And they're huge, so it would take a toll on their body. You know,
Yeah, it's probably why they probably sit. Most of the time, Bigfoots are you see them. They're sometimes they're just chilling there, man. They're just sitting down. You know, they're not really doing anything. They're just sitting there.
they're not really doing anything.
Sometimes they just sit there, man. They, if you happen to take a glance, you know, you can hide your presence from them, but you gotta hide really good.
Also, Bigfoot. Going back to the 50 years of Bigfoot, um, Bigfoot could eat so many calories it was ridiculous. You know how big a Bigfoot is compared to a human.
Oh
Bigfoot
yeah,
could. You imagine how much he needed to sustain? Like the human needs like 2,000 calories or 2,500 or something like that. But the Bigfoot, they say needed at least 7,000 calories. So that's basically 3 times a human. So the Bigfoot, if I ate a double quarter pounder meal, the Bigfoot would at least minimum need 3 of those.
damn.
And that's just one meal. That ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? One meal. And probably
Right.
actually more than that. I'm probably like under exaggerating. Because these Bigfoot would eat full cows, you know, at a time at one sitting. They ate dog. A dog was a Bigfoot meal in that story. One Bigfoot would eat a whole entire. It was like a Labrador or something like that. So these Bigfoot, so sustained every day, they need to fucking eat. And if they can't eat, just like any other thing, they'll eat you. I mean, if need be, you know, because they're like us animals, man. Humans would do the same thing. If they're starving to death, they'll start to eat each other, and that's where the zombie movies come from. Fucking humans are crazy. Bigfoot are crazy. Do we have any more music, Rocky? Music and pictures. Or video. Let's show some shit.
That's like shit. I want to show that one. That one. Look at that. What do you think? You see the fur and all that shit.
Just crazy that thing needs 7,000 plus calories.
But
And
yes,
the main Bigfoot in the story, Fox, he actually treated the other Bigfoots kind of like shit. It was a hierarchy though. Fox ate first, no matter what. The woman ate next, and then the children would eat or starve to death.
damn.
Fox always ate first, and he always fucking ate most of it. I mean, a Bigfoot's got to eat 7,000 calories. This is just table scraps they're bringing. So the girl's lucky she had a bite. You know what I'm saying? How'd the kids survive? I know there was one kid that survived because they talked about it later.
That's shitty.
I mean, that's just like people, though. You know, Bigfoot can be shitty too. But, you know, like you said earlier, there's good, there's bad, there's more spiritual, you know? There's different species of Bigfoot. These species could be more animalistic, you know? There's different types of Bigfoot in different areas.
Like more ego and shit?
Yeah. He was basically like, I'm going to eat and nobody else is going to fucking eat.
Damn gluttony right there.
And he would shake the house and shit too. He would like ram against it if he wasn't getting food. That's what I'm saying. They got to a point where they were like, they had it so easy, the Bigfoot, they didn't have to go out and hunt and shit because the guy brought them the food. They became dependent on the guy. And once they didn't get that, they would fucking get aggressive. Now, I'm not saying all Bigfoot are that way. I'm just saying that this particular Bigfoot was that way. Because I've heard good stories about Bigfoot too. I've heard enlightening stories about Bigfoot. Like it's, like you said, it's telepathic and shit like that.
Yep, mind talk.
So just like humans, there could be levels of Bigfoot, you know? Some of us are more spiritual. Some of us are in prison for like killing people, you know? You know what I'm saying? Some of us are more animalistic than others.
Yep.
All right, you got a song to play?
I do. It's another song by Atmosphere.
Atmosphere taking it up.
Yep. Sunshine.
Ain't no way to explain or say how painful the hangover was today. In front of the toilet, hands and knees, trying to breathe in between the dry heaves. My baby made me some coffee, afraid that if I drink some, it's probably coming right back out me. Couple of Advil, relax and chill at a standstill with how bad I feel. I think I need to smell fresh air, so I stepped out the back door and fell down the stairs. The sunlight hit me dead in the eye, like it's mad that I gave half the day to last night. My bad sight made me trip on my ass right into that patch of grass, like that's life. All of a sudden, I realized something. The weather is amazing, even the birds are bumping. Stood up and took a look and a breath, and there's that bike that I forgot that I possessed. Never really seen exercise as friendly, but I think something's telling me to ride that 10-speed. The brakes are broken, that's alright. The tires got air and the chain seems tight. Hopped on and felt the summertime. It reminds me of one of them Moosab lines, like sunshine, sunshine is fine. I feel it in my skin, warming up my mind. Sometimes you gotta give in to win. I love the days when it shines. Whoa, let it shine. Sunshine, sunshine is fine. I feel it in my skin, warming up my mind. Sometimes you gotta give in to win. I love the days when it shines. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it. If I could, I would keep this feeling in a plastic jar. Bust it out whenever someone's acting hard. Settle down, barbecue in the backyard. The kids get treats and old folks get classic cars. Every day that gets to pass is a success, and every woman looks better in a sundress. The sunshine's an excuse to shoot hoops, get juice, show and prove them moves and let loose. I hear voices, I see smiles to match them. Good times, and you can feel it in the fashion. Even though the heat cooks up the action, the streets still got butterflies, enough kids to catch them. Riding my bike around these lakes, man, feeling like I finally figured out my escape plan. Take it all in, the day started off all wrong, but somehow now that hangover is all gone. Ain't nothing like the sound of the leaves when the breeze penetrates these southside trees. Leaning up against one, watching the vibe, forgetting all about the stress, thanking God I'm alive. It's so simple, I had to keep the song simple. And when I get home, I'm gonna open all the windows, feeling alright. Stopped at a stop sign, a car pulled up, bumping Fresh Prince's Summertime. Summer, summer sign. I feel it in my skin, warming up my mind. Sometimes you gotta give in to win. I love the days when it shines. Whoa, let it shine. Sunshine, sunshine is fine. I feel it in my skin, warming up my mind. Sometimes you gotta give in to win. I love the days when it shines. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it shine. Whoa, let it.
I'm high as fuck. I'm high as fuck. Oh
Yeah, that was
shit.
dope as shit. Fucking. All right, we got any final thoughts on Bigfoot? What's your final thoughts on Bigfoot?
My final thoughts is that, in my personal opinion, I feel like they are the original beings of this planet.
And are they actual beings or are they interdimensional? What do you think?
Well, I think I probably both. I think we're all multi-dimensional, so there's different versions of us throughout the dimensions.
What I'm asking is, are they almost an illusion though? I mean, they're real, but you know what I'm saying? They're not real.
Right. Who knows? You know,
I mean, like I said earlier, if you think it exists in some world, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, could be, because we're basically creating our own reality every day. Which,
That's what I'm saying. I mean, a Bigfoot could pop in, you know, when I was, well, that's another story when I was working with some dark magic. That'd be another episode. But something manifested in front of me, you know, and you can manifest it, you know, you can manifest it, you can create things, you know, it's called your egregore. If enough people believe in something, it physically manifests, it exists.
oh yeah,
So
um,
my final thoughts on Bigfoot, and I think is that is it's almost like another dimensional being that is like Loch Ness monsters, like aliens. It's like anything. It's like if it's from a collective conscious almost, and it could just come in and out at will. Like aliens can appear and disappear. Fucking, it's a collective conscious of humans that creates it. But I believe that it can be a physical being as well.
right.
And with
Me
that,
too.
that's my thoughts. My name is Big Sig, and who's this right here?
I'm Rocky Top, motherfuckers.
And we're Got Bud Records. We're both musicians on Got Bud Records. Check us out. We both have stuff coming out this next year. Uh, Check out also, you know, I want to give a shout out to Slash Master Sid, of course, the CEO of Got Bud Records. Holding it down, always being calm, you know, shit like that. You know, and our whole team at Got Bud, especially if you're watching. If you watch us and support us, Got Bud, extra props. And because we're there for you. We support you. I listen to all that shit you guys put out. So fucking come on here sometime. Let's get some Got Bud love in here. Fucking get on the podcast at the end. Tell us your thoughts of Bigfoot. You know, and Got Bud needs to be on here. You
Right?
know,
We need to hear. We need to hear our other members see what they think about Sasquatch.
I need to hear Heckles. What do you think about fucking Bigfoot, Heckles? Huh? You should be on here talking about it. You're sitting there at the bar drinking, fucking serving. That's the perfect time to talk about Bigfoot. You know? Come on, Ash from the
Yeah,
past. Where are you
and
at? You should be with them. You two should be on
conflict.
here talking.
I
Fucking
want to
famous
get
HOF. Where are you at? Come on here with your fucking face painted. In fact, you can do an exclusive paint depending on what the theme is. You can come on here, have some crazy shit, have your crazy thoughts, and that goes for everybody, Godbud. And if you are not on Godbud, it's info@godbudrecords.com. Email us. Tell us what you think. Bigfoot, aliens, anything. Anything weird you have an experience, tell us. All right, Rocky.
You
Be out.
know, hold on, real quick. Uh, don't leave after I end it. Just stay because I want to talk to you about the next topic.
Oh, show.
All right. We'll see y'all later. I could play one more song to end it.
Play one more song and check out Mind Walks Podcast on Facebook. Um, we now have our own YouTube channel. This is Rocky Rob's YouTube, but it's Mind Walks Podcast. We need you to subscribe. We need 50 subscribers to start live on there. So for now, we're on
Yes.
here, but we want to move over there. So hit us with a song, Rocky.
These warehouse wages kill the ends. Introduction, man, I should've schooled it up when I was younger. Should've stuck the plan. Always had the dreams of being more self-assertive. And my kid's a teenager, now he needs the health insurance. So break my body, break my soul down. Just another zombie walking blindly through your ghost town. Pull up to the bar, to politic and tap the power. Ain't nobody really all that jolly at your happy hour. But I don't wanna go home yet, so I'ma talk to my cigarette and that television set. It doesn't matter what brand or station, anything to take away from the current situation. No overtime pay, no holiday, months behind on everything but the lottery. Winter around the corner, guaranteeing that my car dies. Wifey having trouble trying to juggle both the part-times. My cup ain't close to filled up, we trying to build up so we can have enough. And when I finally get the color, won't be nothing left to paint on. A friend of mine tried to kill himself to the same song. My better half is mad at making magic out of canned goods. My tax bracket status got a question in my manhood. My shorty got caught smoking weed at a concert, and if I smack him, everybody treats me like a monster. My neighbors ain't doing much better, and we make it competition instead of sticking together. Can't save no nest egg. In fact, this nest is rented. In fact, that rent is late. Wait, the money ain't here. The raise ain't coming. Just me and my son and that crazy woman and those bartenders. This whole fucking country got everybody swallowing that lunch meat. Maybe we could speed up the process. Kill me in my 30s in the name of progress. Put me in the dirt and then change the topic. Sometimes seems like the only way to stop it. Contemplate my departure date. Doesn't take a lot to get a lot of us to talk this way. Take a shot at me, that's all I'm obligated for. Apparently my only guarantee is a walk away. Is a life worth dying for? 'Cause death don't wait for no one. He's sitting on your front door. The only guarantee in life is a life worth dying for. 'Cause death don't wait for no one. He's sitting on your front door.
That was the last song. Y'all motherfuckers, check us out and tune in. And I will be posting videos of the next topic whenever we decide. Rocky
Also,
Rock.
Big Sick. It's the Mind Walks podcast, bitches.
Hell yeah.